In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 books that had the most impact in helping me make millions online. Make sure you pay attention because these books, I'm also going to go into some of the most valuable lessons that I learned. So grab a pen and paper if that's your type of thing. Grab a Google Doc if that's what you like to do too, because these books I'm going to share with you are ones that I highly recommend that you go check out. Book number 1 is Ari Gold, The Gold Standard. Now, this book is, if you've watched the movie or the show Entourage, you'll see there's a main guy in here named Ari Gold. What Ari does in this book is he plays the same character that he is inside the show Entourage, but it is jam-packed with valuable business lessons and also life lessons. Now, I will warn you as you go through here, Ari is a very egotistic maniac, to kind of say the least. But his rules are things that you can adopt and twist in your own. So what I've done inside this book over here is I've taken a lot of the things that he says in here and kind of implemented them to suit myself and my current lifestyle. And one of the biggest things that I got from him in this book is essentially you need to be omnipresent. Like, everybody needs to know who you are and what you do. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. You can personally just be everywhere, or you can pay to be everywhere. And it just kind of depends on what you want. And the whole point is, in order to be on top, everybody needs to know who you are. Coming in book number 2 is The Slight Edge. This is one of my top favorites. It's from Jeff Olson. He essentially teaches you the power to stay consistent in your daily actions so that you can get the results that you want. And this one was a huge one for me. It's one of the first ones I read when I kind of first got started, because I was all over the place. I was always chasing the shiny object syndrome type thing, where I was doing, when I first got started, I was doing Shopify, Forex, real estate, running an agency, doing consulting on the side. And I never really saw traction until I read this book, and it was like, all right, just stay focused on doing the same thing over and over. So I just started building consistent actions that led to the result, which is kind of like the overall moral of this story is you just have to stay consistent and do the same thing over and over, because everything has a delayed effect in your life. It's kind of like going to the gym. If you have never seen results at the gym, or if you have seen results, you would know this, is if you want to build your dream body, it comes down to not what you do today or tomorrow or next week, but the same thing that you do over and over. So if you want to hit a specific physique, you have to eat the right macros consistently. You have to go to the gym and work out the right body parts consistently, even when you don't feel like it. And that's essentially kind of like the 1,000-foot overview of The Slight Edge, is just staying consistent so you can achieve your results in the right time. Book number 3, and this one basically kind of just disrupted the entire world. And yeah, it's gotten a little bit of wear and tear on here. It just shows you how many times I've read this book. But I think I've honestly read $100 million offers from Alex Hormozi, 10 plus times. And it's more of a book where if you're struggling with business, I highly suggest you read this book, but it also gives you very tangible advice on things that you can do, where a lot of books don't really do that. They have a lot of fluff. And that's the thing I like about Alex Hormozi and his writing style just in this book, is it gives you things that you can implement right away. It's almost kind of like a workbook. And that's why it looks like a workbook, because I've basically destroyed it out of the years of traveling and reading it. And in this book, Hormozi talks about having a home run offer. And that's where a lot of people struggle when they go to build their business, is they just have an offer that's very plain and undervalued. Where in here he says, hey, you need to, if you ethically can, charge the most and be the absolute best in one industry. And when I read that, it really changed a lot of my perspective on what I'm offering inside my business and what we do. And I think that kind of goes into the blue ocean, red ocean type of thing, where a lot of people, they come out here and they just try to model or copy everybody else. They go in the red ocean where it's everybody's competing with each other. And I see this all the time in fitness. It's like, hey, I'm going to show you how to cut your macros and give you a workout. Everybody's doing that. So that's why they wonder why it's such a competitive space, is because everybody's doing it. Whereas if you come up and do something different than everybody else, you're going to set yourself apart. And that kind of comes down to the offer. So I hope you check this out. Even it says down here, how to make an offer so good people feel stupid saying no to. And that's the idea that you need to go inside your business, is how do you make an offer that's so good that it makes people feel stupid to say no to? Book number 4 is this white copy right here. I actually lost the cover to this, but you can see Profit First from Mike, and I'm going to pronounce his last name wrong, Michalowski, possibly. This book has been the biggest game changer on my finances because I was always in that position where I'd make a lot of money, but I had no idea where it was going. And at the end of each month, I'd make all this money, but I wouldn't have it. And really understanding this book helped me better my finances to the point where like we're really stacking cash and using that intelligently, where in this book he talks about there's a couple different strategies, and something that I picked up on books is you don't have to do it 100% exactly what someone else says, but if you can pick up one or two golden nuggets, it's going to be a biggest game changer. And one of the things I picked up from here is he talks about how you have different bank accounts for different things in the business. So like your cost of goods, a profit account, your advertising spend account, all kinds of different options you can have, and that'll help you stay organized on where the actual money is going. But one of the biggest things I did is I didn't go and create, I think he talks about making like 5 different business accounts. To me, I'm a very simple type of person. What's the simplest thing I can do to get the biggest result? And for me, one of the things was just having a profit account where at the end of each pay period, we run payroll every 1st and 15th of the month, putting aside a profit that you can just use to ball out or go on a vacation or go travel or do whatever you want with. And once you start doing that, eventually you're going to look at it and be like, wow, there's a lot of money in here. What do I do with this? And that's the point where maybe you can go buy yourself a new Rolex, or you can go to travel to Europe or whatever it is. These are some of the things that I've done. It's something that I'm able to do without feeling guilty from taking money out of the business. Is just something it's like, hey, well, this is money that I actually earned. Because a lot of times in business, we want to do things to grow the business. And for me, at least, I always felt guilty. I'm like, I just want to keep as much money in the business as I possibly can so I can continue to grow this and just have like those funds there in case I need them. But in reality, it's like there's no business without you. So you got to treat yourself. And that's something that I kind of really learned from this, along with many other things, is just like managing your finances, your personal and your business as well. Because that's another thing that I've noticed a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is they make a bunch of money, but then they don't keep any of it. And I think there's a point, a time and a place for that. Like when you're first getting started, it's cool to just make all kinds of money and ball out. But one of the biggest mistakes I made is like my first $1 million I ever made, I looked and I didn't have that $1 million in the bank because I was just balling out, enjoying traveling, living my life. And that's cool because that's what got me started where I'm at now. But I think as I personally grow in my journey, I get a lot more intelligent on how to manage cash flow and where to put it. So this book, Profit First, highly recommend. It's a really good one to get your money right. Coming in for book number 5 is Copywriting Secrets from Jim Edwards. This book right here, I think everybody needs to read. And I put this book on here because it might not be the most sexy thing, like, hey, let me learn copywriting skills, but copywriting is going to make you the most money. Because a lot of people go into marketing and they think, well, I'll just put up a photo, I'll put up a video, and I'll attract the right type of person. But copywriting is the secret ingredient that you need in marketing that a lot of people just don't look into. And if you're not attracting your right type of person, it's probably because your copywriting sucks, to be honest with you. And if you check out this book from Jim Edwards, Copywriting Secrets, if you're familiar with Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels, he's the one that's like been the main copywriter for them, and they've made millions and millions and millions of dollars, let alone help their clients make millions and millions and millions of dollars. This is a book where you can go back through, you can read it once and then go back through and re-acknowledge some of the stuff. And it's helped me a lot. I mean, honestly, this book's probably made me millions of dollars thinking about it, because it's one of those things where if you have just marketing, that's not enough. You need to know copywriting skills in order to get your client across the line, because a lot of times people just put out a message and they're not speaking to the right type of person, or they're not talking about the right pain points. And that's really what this book helped me understand, is one, how to speak to the right audience, but also how to speak to them to get what you want. And I think that's a book that everybody should check out, is Copywriting Secrets from Jim Edwards. Now, I had to leave you with one bonus, and that one bonus book that I would recommend that you check out is Launch from Jeff Walker. Now, this book is filled with some actionable insights. I think a little bit of it's a little outdated, but it's the same principles and concepts that you can go with and run with today. And this book actually incentivized me to create a launch inside my business when I first launched my program, Authority Income Accelerator. And with my first launch, we did 100K cash collected in the launch. And it was something that really helped skyrocket my business to where it's at now, where we're hitting reoccurrent 6-figure months over and over and over again. And a lot of it had to do with just some of the principles that he shares in here on how to grow your business and announce it to the world the right way, and essentially how to do a launch. So this is another book I highly suggest you check out. And as a bonus, I actually created a video on breaking down our launch strategy and how you can do it yourself too. So all you got to do is just click that link in the bio down below and you can go check out my video on how we did a 100K launch, and maybe you can make some money out of it yourself too. So as always, if you like this video, hit that like button down below, hit subscribe. We're posting every week so we can bring the value to you.